Microphone check, microphone check. I don't wanna hear any static on that bitch. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Fly on the Wall. I guess when I'm releasing this, it's 2024, but right now it's 2023. So we're enjoying it in this year. We hope that you're enjoying it in this next year. It is your boy Buddha. You know what we do. We like to have some fun. We like to talk some shit. We like to talk music. We like to talk culture. We like to talk whatever the fuck we like to talk about. It's what we do. It's fly on the wall. You are the fucking fly on the wall during our discussions. So I always like to bring on some people that I respect, some people that I think are super talented, super cool, just full package, everything. I'm hyping him up right now. I'm giving him the gas. This dude is, he's mixed a lot of the shit that I've put out recently, and I think he's honestly the best engineer that you can find. Genius mind when it comes to producing, engineering, putting his brain behind music and being creative, and kind of pushing all that shit to the forefront. I'm going to stop hyping him up. I do this too fucking much. Go ahead and tell him about yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Sam Maul.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Sam. I am the chief engineer and producer, I guess, at Shock City Studios, which is, I think it's fair to say, the largest format recording, the largest studio here in St. Louis.
Oh, yeah.
In the region.
For sure.
So, yeah, I wear a lot of hats down there, but primarily engineering, mixing, mastering, and then kind of de facto producer on a lot of things.
Hell yeah. I mean, you put in your 2 cents, and that's what I like that shit, though, because the more ideas in the room, the fucking better. And you're like someone who's around that shit, so you kind of see from all these different angles in a weird sense. Like, you know, you get to work with all these different artists when you're mixing their stuff, and you're working on your own shit. That's just a whole nother angle, and, you know, it's just, I don't know. I trust your vision whenever you're coming up with shit. So I'm sure other artists feel the same way. But
yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate all of that.
Yeah.
You know, I get to work on, like you said, a lot of different kinds of music with a lot of different artists, and I've found that I'm able to, like, snag an idea from this subgenre and apply it over here and, you know, steal something from here and put it here and kind of mishmash a bunch of art together. And also just being inside of it every day, I kind of have a quicker idea of what's possible sometimes. And so I like being able to help artists, let them really focus on what they're doing.
Right.
And then if it feels like it's appropriate and like the artist is interested in getting some kind of like creative input, I have the capability to do that and my own personal sense of taste that I can kind of inject into it if they want.
And that's dope as fuck, because, you know, that's a different taste that they probably didn't have before or something, you know? And they that might be like the key step to making that record a great record, you know?
Yeah, sometimes you just got to find like what is the thing about this. And I think that's a thing that sometimes artists learn as they grow, is like figuring out what is actually the hook, either literally in the song or kind of metaphorically, like what is the hooky thing about this that we can lean into?
Yeah, what makes it catchy? What's like almost like the dramatic of the song?
Yeah.
Like, you know? And
sometimes sometimes it's a lyric or a melody, other times it's like an effect or something that's more on the production or engineering side.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's attention to detail, and that's what you do best.
Yeah,
you know? Fuck yeah. So I want to ask, just because we need the origin story. This is like Marvel Comics, Sam Maul. So what got you in? I mean, really, I'm gonna go even deeper than probably just engineering in general. What got you into music and your interest?
Sure.
And like wanting to pursue that, you know?
Okay. Well, I'll give you the semi-long version.
Hell yeah.
Since we're on a podcast and I'm the only guest. So
drop them bombs, man.
Yeah. So I come from a pretty musical family, on my mom's side at least. My mom is a singer. My uncle's a professional singer in a choral group, or multiple choral groups, some of which he's founded.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I've got a lot of kind of musical genes on that side of the family.
Dope.
I've always
influence.
loved music and been around it since I can remember. My first thing I remember, so I will admit that I was huge into the Spice Girls album.
Well, who wasn't?
Yeah, and then I later figured out that it wasn't just because I liked the music. But
that's valid.
Yeah.
Valid as fuck. Sporty Spice all day.
Yeah, for sure. And then like I remember being in school and like teachers playing music just to like keep the kids calm, and I was so invested in like the John Tesh Live at Red Rocks CD, which is like the corniest like.
We all got our tastes though.
Man.
That's I feel that.
And that stuff gets so kind of especially when you're young, it gets imprinted in your brain so deeply, and a lot of your taste is formed at a very early age. I think
that's a good point.
And it can evolve, but a lot of my musical sensibilities, I think, still come from the things that I liked when I was 7 years old.
Hell yeah.
Positive memories I have from then. And some of the things I don't like are like I
from that era too almost.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like I realized, for instance, there's a lot of like I've never been a huge fan of a lot of 80s music, and I've kind of come around to a lot of it.
Yeah.
But I realize now, I think it's because like, when I was a kid in like the early 90s, the 80s music was like the music era that had just passed, and so now was like in places like the grocery store and JCPenney.
Right,
and like,
it became like
it's like the background music of the world.
Yeah, it became like Walmart pop.
Yeah, totally. And, and I hated that because it was associated with everything I did not want to do, which was go to Shop and Save with my mom.
That's real as fuck.
And so, but anyway, fast forwarding a little, I was in jazz band in high school, not the good one, but the jazz lab. Or
hey, that's dope though. Yeah, that's sick.
And then I was in a punk rock band in high school, like a pop punk rock band.
Oh, nice!
Which was a lot of fun, actually.
Where were you playing in the pump? The band?
Drums. I played drums and sang, which is what I still do.
Nice.
And I am not much better now. Probably not as good as I was then, but
really?
We had a lot of fun doing it, and we did like. We did a couple EPs. Our name was 5 Second Rule, like dropping food on the floor.
Oh, I like that. That's fun. That's I like that. That's a catchy name.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I remember at one point we recorded an EP we recorded 2 EPs in different friends' basements, but one of them was in my friend's older brother's basement. And I was playing drums, and I just remember being almost like more into watching him do what he was doing.
Right.
Because that was my first exposure to like kind of how the sausage is made in terms of putting music together.
Right, and that's when there's like almost an aura around it.
Totally.
Too.
And it was just like a computer in a basement, but to me it was like I couldn't believe it. And until you have exposure to something like that, you just assume it's like a microphone in the middle of a band and somebody hits record and then that's what you hear. And
right.
Like, that has nothing to do with how music is made.
No, it's layers. It's literally music's like a fucking cake.
Yeah, exactly.
In a weird way.
And I was more interested in who was baking the cake than I was in the cake, is what I kind of realized.
But that's sick. That's dope. That's a good way to get fucking started on it. I mean, I feel like it's kind of similar for me in a sense where like, I don't know, like I would just come up like freestyling. That's what I was doing. And then like I got around like Daniel and like his family, and I watched them produce, and I was just like kind of like a sponge in the room. I was like, this is fucking cool. Like I want to do this. This is fun. Like, and it feels like, you kind of just see the therapy that music gives to people too. Is like, you fucking just you release when you're fucking making that stuff, and it's like a giant like fucking weight off your shoulders. I don't know, it's incredible, but that's fucking sick.
Yeah,
that's
man.
Dope.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with all of that, which is why I was in like a punk rock band, because you're 16 years old and you're like
angsty.
Angsty. And I mean, it wasn't like real angry music, it was kind of for fun also, but
right.
Playing drums really fast and hard, there's no better way to blow off steam, and I have gotten back into it recently, and I'm like, why did I ever stop doing this?
Hell yeah, you
this
should
rips.
keep doing it. Fuck, that's fucking dope.
So then I kind of, from there, I was like, I don't know what I want to do with my life really, and like this seems like I'll try it, I guess. So I went to Webster University, has a program, a bachelor's degree. So I went there and got a degree, and then started interning at Shock City Studios, and kind of stuck around until they had to start paying me, or until they were desperate for somebody to do a session, and I was the only one, the most capable of doing it.
Yeah, the one in the room, right? Yeah,
and,
hell yeah,
and just never left, and that was like 12 years ago. So
that's dope. Yeah. Well, that perseverance definitely paid off, because I mean now you're the chief. You're chef. Yeah. I love that. No, that's fucking sick. I love that. That's the Sam Maul origin story.
That's right.
Coming to a theater near you.
I need to get my elevator pitch down though. That was way too long.
No, I love it. I think Steven Spielberg will totally. He'll turn that into something.
Okay, cool. Steven, if you're out there.
So going on the engineering stuff, you know, and I don't, you know, I'll do some like experimental shit here, but I always take my stuff to you. Mm-hmm. What are like probably two of the most like must-have plugins in your opinion? Like if you had to go based on just what you use and you feel like those are like backbones to your mixes almost.
Okay, so I'm going to try to keep this to plugins that are not like plugin emulations of analog gear.
Right. Just
that's
like,
kind of like a boring thing to say. Like,
yeah, because then it's
an
just
LA2A,
paralleling
like, whatever,
the outboard stuff. Yeah.
Because I think I could give different answers about that. So one of them that comes to mind, and this one is a little fraught for me because I, until recently, like kind of hated the idea of it. But I've come around and stopped being a hater on it. So there's this plugin called the God Particle.
Oh, it sounds fucking cool.
And it's a plugin that is, you can use it in a bunch of different ways. Mm-hmm. Or in a bunch of different applications, I should say. It's kind of, it does one thing or a couple things more or less. Not a one-trick pony, but it does a thing. Yeah. But you can use that on multiple elements in your mix. But the idea ultimately is that it goes kind of on your mix bus, and it sort of adds a bunch of processing behind the scenes to sort of just make everything like bigger, wider,
brighter,
more polished,
cleaner,
brighter.
Yeah.
And
that's sick.
You know, it works really well. It's become very quickly like such a part of my workflow that I miss it when I don't use it usually. Yeah. 9 times out of 10 it sounds better than not using it. And my reticence about using it was that I don't, you know, I come from a real, like, I went to school for engineering. I know, you know, not to toot my own horn, but like I know how the tools that I use work, or at least I want to. That's important to me.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so to have like a magic box where you just turn up the knob, if it's like a better knob.
Yeah, it just makes it like expedites everything a little bit.
It does, and I was so kind of like turning up my nose at it, like
I know a better way to do this.
Yeah, no, man, it's really really good. So I love that plugin. I use it all the time.
Sick.
Another one. So there's another one kind of in a similar realm called Soothe.
Okay.
Which is another like sort of really popular plugin right now. It has been for a few years.
Yeah.
Without getting into too much detail about what it does, is it kind of just helps you transparently, if you want, or you can drive it to extremes, but transparently turn down problem frequencies and that change. So unlike a normal EQ where you just sort of pick the frequency and tell it how much you want to turn up or down, this adjusts to the input material that's going into it.
Oh, that's fucking sick as fuck.
Yeah, it's great. So it's really helpful for like solving problems.
Right, it just kind of it finds the hole without you having to find the hole yourself.
Yeah, or if I know like yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
But like, you know, if you have a vocal, and this is especially, I use it all the time on things that are like maybe recorded in less than acoustically perfect environments where it's it's a fine sounding recording, but it sounds a little boxy because it's in a small room without enough treatment or something. Right. And so there's like a little bit too much boxiness in the vocal. Yeah. You can kind of just set it to that frequency range, and just when the boxiness gets out of control, it just sort of gently soothes it down.
Man.
So yeah, and I use it in a bunch of other ways too. There's an application that I've found, a secret way that you can abuse that plugin that I haven't really fully done yet, but it's like a secret idea that I've had in the back of my head that I really want to try on something. So we should do it on one of your mixes.
I would.
Yeah.
That's coming to a fucking theater near you too.
That's right. We can do a part 2 and I can show you how I use it.
Hell yeah. I love that. No, that plugin literally sounds like that's the ultimate problem solver. Yeah. So I feel like whenever I'm just playing with EQs on stuff, I'm like, thinking I'm getting what I'm trying to get, but that would make it much easier, you know?
Yeah, totally. Because with static EQs, you kind of, if you're not careful, you can create as many problems as you solve. I always think of it's kind of like a hydra. Like, you kill one problem and then you've got
3 more growing from it.
Yeah, they sort of just multiply.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
I love that. That's super fucking real. Fuck, man. I love that. So those are like, so it's Soothe and then the God Particle.
The God Particle.
All right, dope.
All my engineer friends are going to shake their head at me and be like, you sell out.
Hey, you know what? I look at it like this. I feel like if it's a tool, it's only helpful. It should never be like frowned upon almost. Like, I try to look at it more like that nowadays than I used to, because I used to kind of be like, I don't know, like whenever I'd produce, really, like I loved soul sample stuff. And like that's honestly, some of it's pretty cut and dry. You just fucking find the loop and then you fucking loop it, get a rapper over it, and you whatever. It gets pretty simple. But then I used to almost look at myself in a way as like, oh fuck, like that's pretty like cookie cutter of you to do and all this shit. And I'm like, you know what? I had to stop looking at it like that. I had to start going like, if it sounds good, if the result is what I'm looking for, and I'm doing it whatever way I'm getting there, that's the result, you know? Like in a weird way. I mean, it's not for like necessarily everything, but like I do feel like I try to like angle my perspective in a little bit with that. I don't know.
Yeah, man. I mean, something I've really a thing that's become clear to me in the last few years that I actually do think I'm very right about is like the best asset you've got as any kind of artist or producer or whatever, if you're interacting with art, the best asset you've got is your own personal sense of taste.
Yes. Fuck. I love that you said that.
Yeah, and really, like, it's intrinsic to you, and if you are true to it, like, sometimes that's going to lead you into musical corners that, like, you feel like are well-trodden already, and sometimes it's going to lead you in weird directions.
Yeah.
And you know, if you find yourself, like, sometimes if you listen to the little voice in your head, for me at least, I'll do the same thing. Get hung up that I'm doing something that's already been done.
Right.
And then I do something weird, and I get hung up that I'm doing something too weird. And it's like I boxed myself out of the art-making process.
Yeah, we're just letting it flow.
Just, do it, and you can always decide later if you
want to change it or something.
Want to change it, don't want to put it out, it doesn't matter. But
right.
You can't find anything cool if you spend all of your time second-guessing about, that's not hip enough.
Yeah, is this gonna, like, you're almost like looking for it to fit a certain thing.
Yeah.
And the only way it'll fit is if you just let it be what it is.
Totally.
And it's such a weird thing because it feels like even like if I'm writing a song, if I was talking to this my buddy Damon on the podcast about this recently too. Like if you try to force stuff, 9 times out of 10 it's never gonna. You know, like, a lot of, like, on a rap sense, like, a lot of rap dudes will try to, like, pen these insane fucking lyrical miracle-ass verses. And then all this gobbledygook that they're fucking writing and forcing out just doesn't sound good. Where if you get someone who's just, like, kind of, like, letting their soul speak for themselves and letting it bleed on the paper, or on your iPhone, wherever. Sure. But if you're just letting it bleed when you're writing, and like letting it be natural, almost be second nature, that's when the best stuff comes out. Like I always feel like that. But I don't know.
I think that there's something really really impressive and maybe understated about being able to communicate what you want to communicate efficiently. And I always think of the phrase like economy of language.
Yeah.
At least when it comes to lyrics. And you can have the same thought about musical ideas too. Sometimes people kind of like who have a lot of skill tend to like make overwrought productions because they like want to shoehorn all of their talent into one thing. And it's like top tier songwriting and song making a lot of times is about knowing what to have and then what not to have.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's like a real beauty in that.
Yeah.
In efficiency.
Yeah. Exactly. No, it's like if you go to a fucking buffet and you get one of fucking everything, like of everything, you're not going to be able to just digest that. Like, you know, you got to get everything to complement each other the right way. You know, you got to get a little fucking, I don't know, if you're like a Asian style buffet, you got to get a little orange chicken, a little bit of fried rice, crab rangoon, and that's it. Nothing else. Don't get any mugu gai pan. Don't get any fucking like, don't muddy it up.
You can't do it all.
Exactly.
Not in one sitting.
No, definitely not. And, you know, there's a way to divide that up if you feel like that too. If you feel like you want to showcase that, you don't have to like jam it into every fucking song almost, or even every project. You have to find a way to like diversify your fucking skill set and feed people the right way.
You know, this is something I've been talking to some people I work with about, and then also conversations with myself that I've been having is like not feeling the need to say everything that I might have to say within the context of one song.
Right.
If you've got an emotion or like a story that you're telling or whatever, like you can write as many songs about that as you want and come at it from its little different angle every time.
Yeah.
I think I get hung up, at least, and a lot of people, is like feeling like somewhere in the universe is the perfect combination of words to encapsulate this thing. And if I could just grab them all and get them in the same spot, I'd have written the perfect thing. It's like, no, you could just write 10 songs about that, and nobody even has to know that it's about the same thing, and express all those ideas differently.
Yeah, and it'll just shift the angle with each song almost.
Yeah.
It's genius.
Thank you.
Dope. Well, fuck. I think we're probably at our break time just because I don't want to test my camera's limits. I do this too much. I've literally, I think with me and Louie, we talked it off the camera. I had Slow come on and we talked it off the camera. We'll do it too because we're talking some good shit here.
I'll have some Pepsi. Sponsored by Pepsi.
Sponsored by Pepsi.
Speaking it into existence.
Hey, Pepsi's fire. I look at it in this sense. I grew up in a Pepsi family, so like my dad loves Pepsi. But like fucking, if I'm getting a drink, like if I'm doing like a whiskey and something, I do prefer whiskey and Coke to like a whiskey and Pepsi because I feel like you get a little more of that like cinnamony kind of flavor from a Coca-Cola, but.
Absolutely.
But it's also too overbearing to have by itself. So that's why I prefer a Pepsi. It's like a clean cut Coca-Cola.
You've really thought about this.
I go deep on soda. I'm diabetic. But with that being said, we will be right back. We're going to take a little break. Stay tuned. Remember Buddha TV. Don't change the channel. Yeah. Woo! What's a legacy if nobody is testing me? Stop making this shit so black and white like a referee. I put on for the motherfuckers who be standing next to me. When I say them shit, I fall from the better me. We either live alone or we die alone. It's last call, but for me it's hitting the dial tone. The way they reach, you think that they hit the pile on. All the beef and all the stress, let it pile on. Fuck it, we ball, I'ma just put a smile on. And all the whack motherfuckers that I can style on. Go nuts, my words do donuts. Don't provoke us, so we really gon' blow up. Can't control us, it's levels to this shit. And we getting out the lobby. I feel like Hank Hill and all these rappers look like Bobby. I don't shoot with the Drake, I'd rather shoot him with the Tommy. Quick break, let me breathe, I need brain like a... Alright, y'all, we are back from our break. You know, normally I get a little smacked this time. I'm gonna save this one for afterwards. I got a little something good that I've been waiting on. But either way, beyond that, let's recap what we just talked about. We talked about Sam's sick-ass origin story, his fucking taste in plugins, kind of his creative process, and, you know, he's giving y'all free game. So, listen up. Don't fucking turn this shit off. Leave this shit on. What the fuck are you doing? Like, don't make a mistake. Anyway, with that being said, one of my favorite things that we do when we do these interviews on here is my overrated, underrated series. Got a list of random fucking shiz up in this hat. Pause. And he's going to pull the names, the things out, and he is going to call it overrated, underrated, or perfectly rated, and we will expand on that. So,
okay, cool. I hope I have opinions. Here we go.
Hell yeah.
If I don't, I'll make one up.
Just go with the flow.
Okay, here we go. Oh, Provel cheese. I think perfectly rated in St. Louis, underrated elsewhere.
Ooh, damn, good take. Why do you think that?
I think people in St. Louis like it, which I think is the right take because it's good.
It is.
And
yes.
I think people from outside of St. Louis don't like it because they haven't had it, and that is
and
closed-minded.
and it's scary to them. It's almost
and
like,
it's like, dude, if you're scared by a white soft cheese, like, there's nothing less intimidating. I don't know how you could be scared of that.
I mean, he's not lying, and it complements pizza really well.
That's right.
I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
So now this is a hot take here. I love Emo's. Emo's is really good, but I work at Joey B's, and they do the same style pizza, and it's like thin crust St. Louis style with Provel.
Yeah.
But they use a sweet sauce at Emo's, like a sweeter sauce, and we use kind of like a traditional, like, I guess, marinara kind of thing, and I love it. I think it's actually better than Emo's. Don't kill me, Emo's. I fucking love Emo's, but...
Yeah,
hot take.
Sauce is not. I don't like a sweet tomato sauce.
No, it's got to have I almost, unfortunately, want to get a little heartburn from it. Like,
yeah, that's right. You got to pay for it, or else it's not real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's Italian as fuck. Where's the gabagool? So we're gonna go with perfectly rated, I guess, in St. Louis, and then underrated everywhere
elsewhere.
else.
I think that's a good answer.
I think that's valid as fuck.
That.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, fuck, man. All you out of towners, please just try it and stop fucking judging us. It's good.
It's good.
Quit lying to yourself.
Shut up. Right.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Here we go.
Hell yeah.
Grilled cheese sandwich.
Hell yeah.
We're getting a lot of cheese-related over-unders.
Starting off with the cheesy ones.
I think perfectly rated.
That's also a valid take. I gotta agree.
I think that's right. But now, I love the ones with apples on it.
Ooh, that's like you get like a brie and apple grilled cheese.
That's really elevated a little bit.
That is. That's gourmet grilled cheese we're talking right there. See,
that's what I'm into.
I can get down with that. We are in the same Venn diagram on that one.
Good.
I'm down with some brie and apple grilled cheese action.
Hell yeah.
I also like if you want to go like spicy, get like a pepper jack cheese and then like do like a pepper bacon kind of thing.
Okay.
Just like squeeze it in there and got to get like I don't know how you feel about like tomato soup like with a grilled cheese. Oh yeah. I love that. It's like one of my favorite, most underrated combos ever.
No, I think that's great. I think that's a classic combo. There's no reason to rethink it.
No, yeah, it's literally just bomb-ass soup, bomb-ass sandwich.
Exactly.
Do a little dippy.
And it doesn't require you to be a good cook, and I'm not, so.
Yeah, exactly. That's real as fuck. Yeah. I feel that. That's like a 5 to 10 minute meal right there. Mm-hmm. So grilled cheese sandwiches are
perfectly rated.
Perfectly fucking rated.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a classic staple in American sandwiches too. Yeah. Like just give me some fucking cheese and bread and we'll make it work.
That's right. Use what we got.
Hell yeah. I love grilled cheese.
AI.
Woof! Hell yeah!
Or is it IA? Are we talking about Iowa? Iowa. Overrated.
Overrated as fuck. Iowa might be underrated, but no, it is AI.
Okay, AI. That is a good. Well, I'll try and give a kind of real answer. I think. Okay, so I'll tell you things that I think are overrated and underrated because it's
there's. I mean, it's a wide spectrum of what AI can do.
Now here's what I would say is overrated or maybe like overdone. I can tell you I'm super sick already of everybody trying to sell me things by just throwing in the phrase, it's AI.
Yeah, that is so fucking real.
No, it's not AI. Like, some things are just the same dumb algorithm you've always been using.
Right.
Like, how stupid do you think I am? Like,
that's fucking.
This isn't AI.
No.
You're not. It's not machine learning my preferences on like socks or whatever. Shut up.
Your AI. Here's your AI generated code of the month.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Exactly.
It's like no, it's fucking not. Like, I agree.
And that is for suckers. And I don't like it when people try to market stuff like that.
No, that's real. That's real.
Probably in terms of like how impactful it is and is going to be.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Possibly underrated.
Right.
I have a feeling that it's going to like that our kids' generation will be like our grandparents and our children will not live in the same sort of universe.
It's almost unfathomable what the capabilities are. I mean, that could save a lot of it. I mean, I've seen it to where these are just articles. I don't know if they're these days. I can't ever fucking tell. I'm like,
the AI is fooling you. They're writing their own articles already.
Exactly. But there's like fucking some article about how like AI already is like kind of deciphering like cures for certain diseases and stuff like that. And like, I mean, that's the capabilities. And I don't even think we're seeing the ceiling for where we're at right now of what it can do. Like, which, yeah, I agree. I think like our kids, grandkids, whatever, are gonna like look at the world and it's gonna be like two sides of a fucking coin. Yeah. At some point. Like,
oh yeah, I don't know. Sure. As big or bigger than the internet, sort of as an invention, probably.
It's basically taking the internet, giving it steroids and a machine gun. It's like fucking, we're gonna power. It's ultra powered now. Yeah. This is like the fucking. I don't know. I just think of what AI is capable of now, and then I'm thinking of what it will be capable of in the future. And in the future, I mean, it could potentially. I mean, it's going to cause problems, but it is also going to have a solution to a lot of problems. Yeah. So I think it's going to be such a weird, like, two-sided fucking thing where it's gonna like be able to help in a lot of areas and it's gonna hurt in a lot of areas in a sense. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I think what I'm most concerned about, like, broadly, is just that it's a technology that's getting so sophisticated so fast that it will become a tool of a handful of people who have the resources and understanding and connections to use it to their ends.
Right. So
and it will totally swamp out anybody else's ability to achieve anything, because it's like they've got these kind of tools at their disposal.
They have the full formula, and we just have the fucking shitty owner's manual or something.
Yeah, right. And you're kind of always behind. So
yeah.
I hope it doesn't go that route.
Damn,
so,
I agree. But so AI, I guess in general, we call it like maybe underrated.
I think so.
I think that's pretty valid.
Yeah.
I agree, and we'll see what it does. I mean, so far it has shown us some very cool shit. Like, in my opinion, I think there's a lot of cool and interesting things that AI has been able to do. Mm-hmm. But also, I do think it's getting like almost like broadcasted too hard to the world in a way, to where it's like, everything is AI.
Yeah,
like,
totally. And the danger of that is, like, I think we should be talking about things where it actually is, like, how AI actually will affect things. And, like, even with music, that is going to be absolutely wild.
I mean, it's, see, the one thing as an artist that I do get bothered by a little bit is, like, the fucking... You know, you'll see, like, the records where it's, like, a Drake song. This is Drake AI song. And then, like, the song almost sounds fucking better than an actual Drake song. It's scary.
Yeah,
it takes the humanity out of art, in a sense.
Yeah.
And almost, like, makes it perfect. But perfect isn't art to me.
Totally.
Art is flawed. Art has to have, like, that hint of humanity, something to breathe life into it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you get, like, there was a moment, I think, where it was a Weeknd and Drake AI song, and it was, like, charting or some shit, which is, that's insane.
Yeah,
it's just a crazy concept to think about. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
well, okay, I do want to make one pitch to anybody who might be listening. This is my pitch. I think that we should decide right now that the definition of the word art has to mean created by humans.
Yes.
Somehow has to have an important...
Put a fucking nail on that one.
We can just decide it now. We can just say that's what the word art means. And that way we're not going, well, this AI art is like, no, that's an oxymoron. That doesn't exist.
Yes.
I think language is powerful, and if you choose to frame something in a certain way with language, that can actually really guide the development of how that goes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. No, listen to this guy. He's fucking spitting gems out here. That's fucking great. Like, I agree with that. So, if it's made by a human, it's art.
It's art.
So,
and if it's not, it ain't.
And rooting it back, AI is underrated.
Yes.
Bam.
All right. Let's see what else we got.
Hell yeah.
I don't know what that says. I'm
really bad. My handwriting is... I meant to say that first. If you need me to translate. I'm
also illiterate.
Well, that's a great balance we have going.
Right.
I'm fucking writing like a 2-year-old, and you know, and you can't read, so it's a good balance.
Perfect.
January.
Okay, cool. I thought it said Jeremy, and I was like, overrated. I don't like people named Jeremy.
Jeremy is overrated.
January. Gotta be overrated because anybody who likes it's terrible.
That's the best take. Yes.
Yeah.
January sucks.
January sucks. February possibly sucks more.
Yeah, because then it's almost like the fucking January's just the precursor to the shittiest month. Basically.
It's like strap in, idiot. You're about to be depressed for 100 days.
Cool. This is peak seasonal depression. It's January, February.
All of our artist friends are like, it's happening.
That's real as fuck. I mean, I in a weird way, I also, and I love the holiday cheer of December, but December's starting to suck more and more the older I get older, because you get personal fucking property tax and all this shit at the end of the year. It's like, you gotta pay for everything now. It's like, fuck!
And now prove to your family that you love them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Here, go into debt for the holiday season.
Yeah, we should do that in August when I have a tan or something.
That's real as fuck. How can we scoot Christmas back?
Yeah.
Tell Jesus to say, let's go a couple months back.
Yeah, right. Put in a good word up there.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, what else we got?
January's overrated, y'all.
Dogs. Oh, that's a good one.
Hell yeah.
Well, I think perfectly rated because people love them. So it would be hard to say that they're underrated because everybody loves dogs.
Yeah, you can't not love a dog.
For me, I would say underrated from the standpoint that I did not used to really be a dog person.
Ooh,
and we got a dog, my wife and I. That's the first dog I've ever had. And it's like become my entire life and personality. And
he's grown on to you, yeah.
Oh my God, dude. And people just come up to me and start talking to me about my dog. Because
I do love Jeff.
Yeah, exactly. See, he comes to the studio. He's like the mascot. If he's not there, people ask where he's at.
Hell yeah. That's real.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would say underrated for me until recently.
That's dope. I agree. I grew up as a dog person, and I still kind of think dogs are a little underrated. Because I know some people who are like, oh, I don't... Like, there's those random just people that kind of frustrate me that are like, I don't fucking like dogs. I'm like, why? Tell me why. I need to know.
There are dogs that I don't like and dog owners that I don't like.
That's true, too. I will agree.
I've never been, like, really actually afraid of a cat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
that's
in
real.
that way.
Yeah, dogs, that's true. There are definitely some dogs that can strike fear into my eyes a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
So, either way though, dogs, I think they're lovable companions, and they fucking they're your couch buddy, and they can literally go for the most part everywhere with you. And if you, it just depends on what kind of dog you like. I feel like for me, I'm definitely like a medium-sized dog. If I'm going, I grew up with, we had a Bashan as our first family dog, a Bashan Frise, and they're the little like foofy, like puffy dogs, and they're honestly, from my family's experience, I love that dog. That dog was sweet as pie, and then now they have a Yorkie, and I typically fucking hated Yorkies because they're like super fucking like barking and yapping it up, but my Yorkie is like my fucking son now. Nice. I love him. He is a good boy, and him. I will by any means necessary. Right. Enzo will never go down. I go down first. But no, I've grown to love that dog and that breed of dog. So I do think a lot of it does come with being around a dog. It'll make you fucking fall in love with him.
That's right. That's right.
Man's best friend.
That's right.
And woman's best friend. Everyone's best friend. Give him a chance.
Dogs, give him a chance.
I just did a full commercial. Somebody fucking give me some dog sponsorships.
Pro Tools.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Say what you gotta say. If you feel like it's a hot take, that makes it even better. I like it steaming.
I'm gonna say, God, this is a hard one. I'm gonna say overrated, just because I feel like it's being an ass.
No, I go expand on that. I feel that.
Pro Tools is great for some things. For some things, it's like the best you can do.
Yeah. It's
really great for recording. Mm-hmm. I find it really easy for editing.
Yeah.
It is what I know, so it intrinsically makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But man, they got to get their shit together with like updates and crashing and like always being 10 years behind other DAWs that implement features, and then like
right.
And then 10 years later, Pro Tools implements it and then raises their prices for it. And it's like,
oh, yes.
Dude, Logic has been able to do this for 10 years, and Ableton figured this out years ago.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, it's like free with that stuff, too. Or a much more affordable standard kind of thing.
Their customer service sucks.
Yes.
Their prices suck.
Real.
It's not reliable.
Mm-hmm.
This drives me crazy, dude. I don't have like a single anymore. I mean, I of course used to.
Oh yeah.
But I don't have like a single piece of cracked software or anything, because I have to know that like it's gonna work because I do this professionally.
Right. Yeah.
And or whatever.
Right.
And dude, it's like I own all this stuff. All the nice stuff, and it's still half the time, fully 1 out of every 5 days I'm trying to work, it's like there's some problem that prevents me from working, and it's like
right.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, it shouldn't. And for something that's considered like the industry standard, you should not have speed bumps like that with it.
No, you really shouldn't. So they got to get their stuff together.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
So I'm going to say overrated. Now, that's not to say that it doesn't do some things really well.
No, it's great, but I do and my bad for interrupting you. No. But I think a thing with Pro Tools too is it's almost like, I think when things become too universally known, they instantly become overrated.
Yeah.
Like, if they're like too popular, then it's like, well, fuck, it is a little overrated. Because it's like too many people fucking know about it and like access it, and so in a weird way that almost makes it overrated. To where like
I think also overrated in the sense that sometimes like, and this is not like me complaining, but sometimes Pro Tools gets credit for things that the engineer is doing, and that drives me a little bit crazy.
That's
where
real.
I'll do something that like I successfully do something that it takes skill,
Yeah.
and then somebody will be like, "Man, Pro Tools is crazy," and it's like, I mean,
oh my god, it's
I
so
don't
funny
know.
you say that,
Yeah.
because when I was like, I don't really like mix for artists here anymore. I just kind of keep it to myself, just because it kind of got me away from working on my own shit. But like, I would have sessions where I'd be doing something and try to utilize a technique, and then they hear it and they go, "Man, Pro Tools did that shit," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"You're right. I didn't do anything there."
yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah, that's always an eye roller, and I'm not gonna like stop and be like, actually,
yeah, right,
it was
right,
me.
right.
But
it is frustrating.
It's like when
Yeah.
somebody, like my wife's a photographer, and she always kind of has the same eye roll about when people are like, "Wow, your camera's so good," and she's like, "Well,
it's like,
but
but I was the
missing the
one.
point.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the ship; it's the fucking driver of the ship. you
yeah,
know?
for sure.
Always. But yeah, so Pro Tools.
I'm gonna give it overrated."
Overrated? Damn, that's a steaming hot
Steaming
take.
hot.
But I like it, and I agree. I think it is overrated, unfortunately. So all you Pro Tools users out there, expand your taste a little bit too, because
right.
like something like a Logic or like something that's great for producing, I think, is Reason.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of really good sounds and stuff, and I think FL Studio gets a little bit of a bad rap, but it is also a little clunky sometimes to use. But for making beats, I love using FL. Fucking, I would export it out of that shit and like mix it in different programs when I was using FL. But yeah. So Pro Tools, overrated.
All right.
Overrated.
right.
I need a button.
You do. You
I
need
need
an
like 2
overrated
buttons. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the overrated button needs to be like a fart or something.
Hell yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
shitty, overrated, stinky.
Stinky. Stinky. Show? Is that what that says?
God damn.
It does say show.
It's,
more than
it
says snow.
literally looks like it says show, but snow. God, my handwriting has been the same since 2nd grade, though. Like, it literally hasn't changed.
Snow. I'm gonna say underrated. I think Snow is
God,
pretty
I love this
magical, and I think that I like that it sometimes forces you, like when you get like a snow day,
You have to stay in the
you
house.
have to stay in the house, and we're all so goddamn forced to be busy all the time and productive.
It's
and
nice to just sit down and not worry about shit. Right.
I really like that, and I like that it makes everything quiet, so there's like a sonic element to me.
Yep. Hell yeah.
And
Same. I feel that.
One of my number one pet peeves is like when there's a beautiful like yard of snow, and then somebody just
Steps
like
on it and
trudges across it for no reason, dude.
Same.
That my OCD is just like you son of a bitch.
Yeah, it
Why
ruined
would
this
you do
beautiful
that?
scenery. Like,
Yeah. So that tells me if I don't like it when you ruin snow,
Then-
I must love snow. So I'm gonna say underrated.
I agree. For all the same fucking reasons. You get time to be stuck in the house and like maybe play some video games, maybe do something that you didn't have time to do that week, watch some movies, binge
man.
some shit, have some hot cocoa. Just
Yeah.
get into the spirit of snow and
Yeah.
what it gives you, you know?
Just appreciate how. I mean, dude, ice raining from the sky and you don't even think about it.
Yeah,
until
that's,
like,
it's
pretty
truly
crazy.
it's truly a phenomenon.
It is
and
a
like,
phenomenon.
We do not get to appreciate that shit. Like,
right.
I don't know. I love a good snow day too. And when you were saying the thing about when it's like silent, I do love that. You go outside and it's almost like you can fucking hear. You don't hear anything, so you hear
everything's
just
quiet.
It's very quaint and peaceful, and fucking. I do love the sight of like sitting in my house and watching snow fall down, and then.
Oh yeah, just thinking how much is it gonna be, dude? I bet it's gonna be another inch.
Yeah, right, and then it ends up.
Do you want to hear? By the way, sidebar. Do you want to hear my secret formula for knowing how much it's gonna snow?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
let's
here's
hear it.
what you do. You take if the weather forecaster gives you a range.
Hell yeah.
You take this is for St. Louis.
Okay,
You take
yeah.
the bottom number in that range. You divide it by 2.
Yeah,
You
okay.
subtract 1 more inch. That's how much it's gonna snow.
That's a very good formula.
If
'Cause
they
I think
say
that's accurate.
if they say it's gonna be 7 to 10 inches, you're gonna divide it by 3. That's 3.5. You're gonna subtract one more. It's gonna be 2.5.
So it'd be like 2.5 inches. Yeah, right.
Probably.
Sounds good. Yeah, because we always overestimate it.
That's and when they say it's gonna be like an inch of snow, you're not getting any snow.
No, you're not getting shit.
No,
there's nothing.
It's gonna melt by the time we get to the city.
It'll snow, but it won't stack.
We got that hot pollutant air, dude. That's coming down as rain.
Yeah, that's real as fuck.
Maybe out in the country that works, not here.
Right? No, not in St. Louis.
No,
that's for sure. But yeah, snow is fucking sick. I love it, and I weirdly, as a producer, I feel like that's my favorite time to make beats. Especially if you get a window, like, and you can like whip up something, look out the window for a minute. Oh, that just inspired me. Time to lay this synth.
Dude, it's like nature's like sands of time. It's like one of those. I don't know what that thing is called, but you know what I mean. It's like you get to freeze time for a little
hourglass
while.
Kind of thing.
Hourglass.
Yeah.
And like just watch the big man do it.
Yeah, that's fucking dope. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So, Snow, we're going to go ahead and give you a good old-fashioned underrated stamp. So, when it snows this year, I hope that you guys remember this. And appreciate it. Sit your ass down and fucking take that day off and have some hot cocoa. Personally, and this is such like a corny thing of me to say that I do every time it snows, but I literally do this every time. I'll play Vince Guaraldi Trio. Like thank you. That's the best snow music.
It's also, I would say, the only good Christmas music. That's my hottest take.
I agree though, because that's my favorite Christmas music. You give me Linus and Lucy from Vince Guaraldi Trio. That's my favorite winter song. Period. Like that piano is just nostalgia. I'm instantly in like my Christmas PJs at my fucking parents' house or my grandparents' house. And,
so good.
Having some hot cocoa and fucking, I don't know, like eating a sugar cookie and like making s'mores in the fireplace kind of thing. Right. Like, it's just instant nostalgia.
It is.
But with that being said, we are all out of our overrated, underrated. I feel like we got a lot of good takes out of there. We got a lot of good shit to share with the people. So we're gonna wrap it up here, because I'm good at fucking beating the shit out of my camera, so this time we're not gonna do that. We're gonna give my camera a break. He's gonna be able to take a nap tonight. Sleep easy. But with that being said, it was a pleasure having you on here, Sam.
Thanks, man. It's fun to be here.
Hell yeah. And we will more than likely probably do this again. I like to tell my guests that eventually at some point we will bring you back on. And, I'm just making my rounds. So
see if my takes have gotten any better.
Hell yeah. That's even better. Sometimes they age like wine and sometimes they age like cheese. So we'll like see
Provel.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the perfect pairing, wine and cheese. So, that is what it is. So do you have anything that you want to share with anybody before you bounce off of here? Leave the people with something?
Not really, I don't think, other than just like, if you're a person who's interested in doing music, I think you should do it and don't get hung up by anything that you feel like is getting in your way.
Hell yeah.
And take all of the pressure off yourself to do anything in particular, and just let your artistic self come out. And I'm talking as much to myself as anybody else there.
Damn right.
And if that, I am trying in my own career to move toward a place of, I don't want to say producing, not like making music for XYZ per se, but like helping artists figure out what their vision of their art is, and then being the kind of bridge to technology, and also help them kind of guide their art out of themselves. If you are a person who feels like they have artistic ideas and is getting hung up on technology or getting hung up on how to express them, hit me up, because I'm trying to do more stuff like that.
Damn right. That's dope. Fuck yeah. We're going to leave it at that. The curtain call. Sam, again, an honor to have you on here.
My pleasure.
Can't wait for everyone to watch this shit. I can't wait for 2024. That's when we're going to drop this. I told myself, give myself a little break on releasing the stuff. I'm just trying to do some work and get this shit shot and kind of chill for the holidays, and I can do some Christmas shopping for everybody, which is fucking annoying, but I have to do it. But with that being said, keep tapping in, everybody. Don't tap out. Don't change the channel. We got a lot more coming this year. Enjoy everything that we're giving you, and I enjoy your time. So, peace. Remember Buddha TV. We'll be right back. After a couple weeks.